Hildreth 100 helped Somerset to huge first innings total.
Somerset's season has the potential to be one for the history books, with the side looking for their first ever county championship title. But defeat to Essex last time out was an unwanted speed bump for the side, now only 13 points ahead of last week's opponents. Beautiful conditions for batting led to a contested toss, won by the home side, with the sun beating down on the Taunton pitch. Azhar Ali and Tom Abel would start well, trading fours to get the innings up and running. Abbott would find a breakthrough for Hampshire. Ali's pad wrapped by a full ball, out LBW for 12. The Pakistan international out cheaply once again. The club stalwart James Hildreth joined his skipper to stabilise the innings. He took the initiative to find success against the Hampshire bowlers before finally bringing up his 77th first-class 50 with a 4 off Crane, and that guided the side through to lunch at 98 for 1. There'd be no stopping them after the interval, Hildreth continuing to find the boundary. His sensational innings capped off with a century brought up as he pummeled Crane over the leg side boundary for a massive 6. Tom Abel's 50 would come next, his watchful innings a real captain's knock. The skipper would lose his second partner of the day soon afterwards though. Hildreth caught at mid-wicket off Edwards for 105. The score 4 runs short of 200. A flurry of fours from the captain would see him flirt with a century before he finally departed, caught at first slip for 82, Abbott's second of the innings. Banton saw an opportunity before tea to accelerate and put Hampshire under real pressure. His attacking shot saw him to a quick-fire half-century, brought up off just 51 balls. The last action before tea, Somerset going into the interval comfortable on 289 for 3.
Crane was taking some punishment from the Somerset pair as he struggled with his lengths, the total moving past 350 as he was dispatched to the boundary, 1 over going for 15. Banton was beginning to think about a maiden first-class century when James Fuller removed him LBW for 79. His innings lasted just 6 balls, out LBW to Fuller for 2. Lewis Gregory can be dangerous with the bat and he scored almost exclusively in boundaries. Back-to-back 4s off Abbott took Somerset past 400, but he'd be out the next ball caught at first slip for 25. The set Bartlett would follow him 4 balls later. A good innings brought to an end, strangled down the leg side for 68 by Edwards. And 7 became 8, Jamie Overton becoming Abbott's latest victim, trapped LBW for a duck. Abbott would seal his 5-fer with the next ball, Groenewold out LBW for a duck as well. And that 5 would become 6 in his next over, Jack Leach out for 5, but Somerset in control on 408 all out and a full complement of batting points in the bag. Somerset would turn the screw as soon as the Hampshire innings got started. Soames caught behind off a Jamie Overton delivery for 0. That would be the extent of the late fireworks though. Hampshire 15 for 1 when Stumps was called, trailing their hosts by a massive 393 runs. Another day where Somerset underlined their title ambitions. 4 of their top 5 batsmen had scored more than 50 runs and made many of the talented Hampshire bowlers look ordinary.
A hard day's work for Somerset as North East leads Hampshire replied. Despite putting on 408 runs, Somerset didn't have it all their own way against Hampshire.
and the surface began to help the bowlers. That might go some way to explaining why their last 6 batsmen managed to add just 34 runs to the total after such a good start from Abel, Hildreth, Banton and Bartlett. The visitors resumed on 15 for 1 and started the day in similar fashion to the way in which they'd ended it, with an early wicket. Weatherly was the man to go, caught behind off Overton for 14 just 40 minutes into the day's play. But if Somerset were hoping that would set the tone for the morning session, they'd be bitterly disappointed. India international Ajinkya Rahane was now joined by Sam Northeast, and the pair began to establish a Hampshire foothold in the game, opportunities drying up for the home bowlers as the pair shared a 50-run partnership. They brought up the 100 a few overs before lunch, reaching the interval 105 for 2, with both batsmen set and searching for their half-centuries. Northeast would be the first man to get there, the 4 off Gregory, the telling blow. Rahane would reach his own 50 in the same way a few overs later, a 4 through point helping him to the milestone. Their partnership was worth 101 runs when it was finally broken, Jack Leach extracting enough turn to find Rahane's edge, Gregory gleefully taking the catch at slip to see the number 4 depart for 55. That brought Rousseau to the crease, and the South African got into his work quickly, scoring at a run a ball early in his innings. He'd be there as skipper Northeast would reach his century, whipping Bess for a 4 through mid-wicket to get there. Bess would get his revenge, removing Northeast for 101, caught by Tom Abel at mid-wicket. Another would come in his next over. Rousseau out LBW for 44 to the spinner. Fuller and Barker seeing Hampshire through to tea at 249 for 5, still trailing by 159 runs. The 6-wicket pairing continued in the same vein at the resumption of play, not scared to take the odd risk as Somerset struggled to create opportunities. They take the new ball at the first available opportunity, Hampshire now closing in on 300, and it had helped create the breakthrough with the batting side on 306. Overton, back into the attack with a new cherry in hand, found the edge through to Davis, Barker out for 38. The Somerset bowler looked rejuvenated and had another wicket with the first ball of his next over. Fuller looking to swat a short one away, caught down the leg side for 37. Crane and Abbott slowed the scoring, unable to get Overton and Gregory away, and the pressure would finally tell Abbott, caught behind for 5, the Somerset man's 5th of the innings. Despite the injury that saw him give up the gloves in the first innings, Tom Alsop would come out to bat, moving very gingerly at the crease. He'd be shielded from the strike by Crane, and the pair would stick it out to the close at 329 for 8, trailing Somerset by 79. The league leaders had been given a taste of their own medicine, only the new ball bowling of Jamie Overton causing real concern in the Hampshire ranks, earning him his 3rd career fifer. The key partnership had been the 4th wicket pairing of Rahane and Northeast, earning themselves a 50 and 100 respectively as they anchored their side's innings. Somerset go on the attack to set daunting final day target at Taunton. A fast and fiery 5-wicket haul from Jamie Overton meant that championship leaders Somerset looked poised for a first innings lead, despite a fine 100 from visiting captain Sam Northeast. Hampshire resumed on day 3, 79 behind, with just 2 first innings wickets remaining. Somerset were able to make the quick breakthrough they would have wanted as the ball, after clattering Gregory through the covers, Allsop popped up a catch to mid-off to give the Somerset all-rounder his 250th first-class wicket. Mason Crane picked up a boundary of his own, but Gregory wrapped up the innings in his next over as Crane edged to slip to leave Hampshire 349 all out, giving Somerset a lead of 59. Azhar Ali wasted no time in getting Somerset's second innings going as he forced Abbott through the covers for 4 in the first over. It looked as though Somerset had decided their best chance of winning would be to score quickly and look for a declaration this evening, and the runs came thick and fast as the opening pair found the boundary regularly. Edwards was cut away for 4 as the 50 partnership came and went, the batsman rattling along at a rate of almost 5 and over as Mason Crane came in for some more punishment. And the stand soon passed 100 before Ali dabbed Barker down to third man to bring up his own 50 just before the lunch interval, with Somerset having an excellent morning as they advanced their lead to 169. Abel moved to his own half-century in the second over of the session as he steered Barker past the solitary slip for 4 after lunch. He then caressed Barker through extra cover, but was bowled by the next ball as he tried to steer it through the leg side. First innings centurion James Hildreth came and went as a loose drive saw him edge Barker to slip, giving Hampshire a second wicket. The run rate slowed to a crawl after Hildreth's dismissal, but Ali was still able to move the Somerset lead past 200. But he was out when he uppercut a short ball from Abbott that picked out Fuller at third man. Banton counter-attacked with a series of punishing boundaries as Somerset upped the run rate once more. Banton was seemingly finding the rope at will as he moved to his own half-century off 73 balls not long before tea, and Somerset reached the interval with a healthy-looking lead of 295 as they looked to post a declaration total in the evening session. Bartlett looked to impose himself as the evening session began as he hammered Crane away for 6 before pulling the next ball away for 4. He pulled another long hop to the boundary in Crane's next over, but he was gone from the next ball as he sliced to cover. Crane struck again soon afterwards when Banton tried to sweep, but gloved to replacement keeper McManus. Gregory's not the type to hang around, and he smashed Abbott back over his head for 6 as Somerset pushed towards a declaration total. Davies joined him to put his foot on the accelerator as he picked up a 6 and a 4 off Crane. But Gregory picked out northeast as he tried to flog Edwards away. Best sent consecutive Crane deliveries to the rope, but Edwards sent him on his way with an in-swinging Yorker. The game continued at a frenetic pace as Crane had Overton stumped. Groenewald clattered Edwards for 6 before Somerset called the batsman in at 358 for 8 to set Hampshire 418 to win and give themselves 4 overs to make a breakthrough on the night. It took Gregory just 1 over to do that as he got one to jag back and bowl Soames for a pair. Rahane responded by sending Gregory to the rope twice in his next over before stumps arrived with Hampshire 12 for 1. They need a further 406 to win the game on the final day. Somerset tightened stranglehold on top spot with dominant win over Hampshire. On day 3, Somerset had found the extra gear to put themselves in pole position in this match. A declaration on 358 for 8 required Hampshire to start their second innings in the evening, and they'd got off to a poor start, losing Soames for a duck, the Hampshire batsman with a first pair of his fledgling first-class career. That left night watchman Abbott alongside Rahane at the close, the pair with a huge task on their hands, with a distant target of 488 to chase in just 3 sessions of cricket. Their job was made harder when Rahane was caught in the slips off the bowling of Gregory for 8. As the saying goes, one brings 2. Abbott, the next man out, caught behind off Overton for 4. And despite announcing himself with 2 early boundaries, Rousseau would follow his compatriot, looking to cut, only to find Banton in the gully. Fuller and North East managed to bring some much-needed stability to the Hampshire innings, the score ticking past 50. It was the partnership they'd been crying out for, Somerset seamers struggling to find a way through the pair. But where seam had failed, the twin spin of Leach and Bess caused carnage. North East would look to turn Leach into the leg side, but could only get a leading edge, popping a catch to Tom Abel at cover to go for 23. The same combination would remove Barker, who chipped one straight to the skipper at mid-wicket for 4. Then it was Bess's turn. His ball to dismiss Fuller, a beauty that beat the outside edge and clipped the top of off stump. Leach would repeat the feat, Edwards clean bowled for 4, and the match would be wrapped up 3 balls later, Leach taking the catch off the bowling of Bess to dismiss Crane for 3. Somerset winning the match by a huge 313 runs, Weatherly unable to bat due to a damaged ankle. It hadn't been the day Hampshire were envisaging. There'd been little in the way of resistance, the side bowled out before lunch. While they'd been set an imposing total, they had been hamstrung by the injuries to Alsop and Weatherly, meaning even batting for the draw looked an unlikely task. Somerset have bounced back nicely. Their defeat to second-placed Essex last time out now a distant memory as the league leaders tightened their stranglehold on top spot, adding 24 points to their tally. They'd performed well with both bat and ball, and the emphatic win gives them confidence going into the second half of the season.